Welcome to the Boys to Man podcast. This is my favorite episode, A Woman's Perspective, where I get to sit down with my beautiful co-host, Joanna, which is also my wife. Let's clap it up for her. So it's super important to me for not only my wife to be a part of this, but for me to represent a woman's perspective, because the way we're wired is for a woman. Like, the opposite sex attracts. We do what we do for women for the most part. So having a woman co-sign what we're doing is good for you young men who are watching, and even the older guys who are watching who want to get wives. I have a wife. This is my wife. So I kind of may know a little bit about what I'm talking about. So what we're going to do with the woman's perspective is recap what we talked about and just get her perspective. So this week we interviewed my father, which you can't have a podcast and not put your dad on the show. So I got the big guy out first. I think it was very wise to bring him on because he is my father, who I got my thinking from and who raised me. Then me and Chris, we talked about purpose, how important it is for men to have purpose. I think it's safe to say that a man without purpose is unattractive.
Yeah, it is.
And, a man with purpose is someone that you can follow.
Correct.
So we were just basically just telling the guys, you saw the episode, basically how purpose is important, purpose is attractive. You shouldn't try to get in a relationship without purpose because you're going to make that woman your all. And women don't want to be your all. Women only want to be, let's ask her. So do you want to be my everything or just my only woman?
I want to be your only woman.
But you want me to have other shit going on in my life?
Of course, yes.
Because that's attractive. If I cut off everything for you, how would you feel?
Yeah, it's annoying.
So
Because then you don't have nothing else to do but follow me around. So, so it's like, no, you need to go do something.
Yeah, so having a job and having hobbies, having things that you guys do separately is very attractive, fellas. And like she said, you gotta, she wants to be the only woman. Don't confuse that with your everything. Like, so I have a podcast, I film people, I work out, but we work out together. That's our thing. I bodybuild. I have other shit going on to where she has other stuff going on too, to where, we kind of value each other when we get to spend time together. Like, even like right now, this is like a date. You see what I'm saying? I even put a special shirt on for you guys, because it's with my wife. She's dressed up. I'm dressed up. We're here showing our dynamics. So this is not rehearsed. This is really how we are. Yeah. So we also talked about high quality women. And so I was very polite about it, but I said a woman's body count should be 3 guys a year. I didn't want to be too harsh because of the society of today. What do you think about that?
I think that with today's society, I guess 3 could be a fair number, but for me, I think 2 is like the ideal number. I have daughters, so I'm not gonna, go tell them 3, 4, 5 is a good number because it's not. So I want them to have the lowest number possible.
Yeah.
And just have self-respect. So.
Yeah, and I think intention matters too. That's why I said 3, because I was talking about me being younger and telling a woman everything she wants to hear, and then dogging her out. So you can't count that against her. If a woman has good intentions, like I liked him, he was an idiot. Or I liked him and he hit me. Or I liked him and this went wrong. Then that's why I give him the benefit of the doubt with the 3. But if you're just having one night stands, then, I think even 2 is too much for one night stands. If there's no intention behind it, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't devalue yourself, which goes into what she just said, self-respect. And I'm assuming that's a high quality trait that you're going with, self-respect.
Yeah.
So like, self-respect, I said, I base it off of where, you should want to date. When you meet a guy, if you just come to his house, you have no self-respect for yourself. You should at least want Starbucks.
Yeah.
Or a walk in the park or, somewhere public. When you meet on Tinder and you're like, yeah, just come over, you ain't got no respect for yourself. Even if you really like him, like there's no respect because you don't know him. I also said, we also said, it was me and Alex. Excuse me, self-respect, body count. I guess we already talked about having your own things for a woman too, like having your own friends, having a goal, a business, something that a skill, something that you have for yourself, so that way even if you're not successful at it, a man can help you build that, or a man can like let's say you're a good editor. I have a podcast. I can help you with that skill. I can use that skill because I said I rather my women work for me than work for someone else. So it's like having something, and I pointed out that we have a nail salon or nail and eyelash because that's your skill, that's your dream, and a man can make it bigger, so women can find value in a man for that. While a house isn't really a home without a woman in it, so a woman can make that. Just talking about the dynamics because I think it's super important. Because what's your take on this? In 100 years, the way we're going, there's no marriage.
Yeah, definitely not.
So it's like someone has to battle these low frequencies. The radio, TV, rap music, just social media in general brainwashes people to operate at their lowest frequencies. We're talking about that today, me, Chris, and Alex. And we are trying to get people to, we're the funnel to get them to get to their higher frequencies. Because everything on social media for women is being a hoe. It's glorified. For men, it's robbing, stealing, being a bum, or being staying at home, living at home with your mom, and saying you're a trader, crypto person, and shit like that. Versus, actually going out there and doing the work, operating at the top frequency. So we're like that funnel to get people from the lower to the higher. And as parents and as people who believe in marriage and God, it's a hard battle.
Yeah, it is hard. Social media, it's crazy. So easy for them.
Yeah.
Everything's just so easy for a girl to make money nowadays. So they just want to take the easy way.
Yeah. Which makes them low quality. And then when they're our age, nobody wants them.
Yeah.
It's a whole different conversation. So we're trying to save them while they're young, helping men become better versions of themselves young and helping women become better versions of themselves. And that's why we talked about high quality women for our first dating dynamics, because it's important for these guys to pick high quality women as it is for women to pick high quality men. So I'm building men, and I want you women to be good for my men when they're there. They're not there yet. See, God knew what he was doing when he, women and men don't have to be the same age. He knew that it'd take us a while to get our shit together. And he made women super, super beautiful, super, super young. So a guy that's 26 can be with a 21-year-old and they can go happily ever after. And I have the experience to guide a woman, even though I'm younger than my wife. That's just how tight I am. I'm a young dude. But that's the perspective that I have about it. And we're just trying to save the world one podcast at a time. Any last words?
No, thank you for the invite.
Yeah, she's gonna be here every month because it's super important. Like, right, everything, we're wired to want the opposite sex.
Yeah.
You're looking for someone who can provide, protect. It's like in your nature to want that, and it's in our nature to want a beautiful woman. So men go around this world trying to get money now, and then they want get money is the only thing that men are taught. We're teaching the characteristics and the skill sets it takes to get a woman, plus to maintain them. Because getting a beautiful woman it's not easy, but what's hard is maintaining her, huh, baby?
See.
Yeah, maintaining my wife's a lot of work. I'm not talking about like maintenance. I'm talking about just keeping that spark going, keeping that interest going. Because a lot of guys stop once they get the girl. And you got to keep going, you got to keep going, you got to keep going, you got to keep going until you fucking retire and you're traveling, That's the only time you can okay, because she's going to be traveling, she's going to be happy.
Yeah. Girls don't talk about it, but it's true. Like, you have to keep, for both women and men, you have to keep the spark. You have to keep doing the things that got you there, because once it stops, it just starts dying.
And then a lot of times we stay for the kids, and it's just there's no union anymore like it used to be, and that's what we're trying to do over here at Boys to Men is just make men value things, act a little differently, be high value. I don't really like the word high value, just to be on your purpose. Because I think everyone's born with value, but at a certain age you got to create value. So you got to take those things that God gave you and create value with it. Women are born with value, and they got to maintain their value by not being a hoe, by not doing stupid stuff. Not.
Yeah, we were having a conversation in the car, and that came up, and we were talking about like the body count, and I told the girls, I'm like, yeah, 2 is the perfect number, and one of the girls, she was just like, what do you know about body count? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm 38 years old, like, but I know these things, so I'm telling you these things because I want you guys to go the right way.
Yeah.
But they agree though.
Yeah.
They agreed because I've been talking to them and teaching them, and we have to do this. Like us as moms, we have to talk to our children and to our girls about reality, because we're not in the day back in the day where we didn't talk about these things. Our parents didn't talk to us about these things. So now it's really important because the internet, if you don't do it, the internet's just going to guide them a different way.
Yeah, low frequency, the worst way possible.
Yeah, and then they won't find a good guy, because they'll be corrupted.
Because we're training these guys not to want them.
Yeah.
So we're the middle ground.
And I agree with that too, because I have sons.
Yeah.
So I want my sons to pick a good woman, like a good woman for them, like just not anyone. So
yeah, high quality women, like I picked right here. But I didn't get it right the first time. We talk about that on another episode. I got blessed with this one. Very lucky to have my beautiful wife who supports me on this podcast, and it is time to cut this. Actually, it's okay. It's still rolling. The light's on and the battery died on the screen.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, this is the Boys to Men podcast. My beautiful wife signing out. We'll see you next month on A Woman's Perspective.
Bye.